Okay, so this week's guitar lesson is a slow and soulful lead that's going to be easy to play, easy to follow along with, basic chords, basic scales, major pentatonic scale for the most part. And we're going to be connecting them all over this soulful lead. Now, it's got a little bit of a country vibe. There's some pedal steel licks, and there's also some blues in there. So it's kind of a hybrid of styles, but don't get too caught up in that. Just know that you can take all of the ideas from this, borrow them, steal them, however you want to look at it, and use them in your own playing. That's why I make these lessons, is so that you can take the ideas from this, and then you can use the examples of this just to kind of understand how they work and then apply them to your own style. So I've got the lesson split into two parts. In this video, we're going to go through the first half. If you'd like to learn the second half, download the tablature, download the MP3 jam tracks, which I have in multiple tempos. You can get all of those things by going to activemelody.com, go to the weekly lessons page, and do a search for EP473. Okay, so let's talk about this song. Now, this song is played in the key of E, and let's go through the chord structure first. So it starts off with a 1, 5, 6. So we have our E chord, B chord, and then we go to the C sharp minor. That's the relative minor of E. That's gonna make more sense as we get into this. But so we start off with an E, B, C sharp minor, and then we repeat the E and the B, but then we go to the A chord, which is our 4 chord. So the first time through it's 1, 5, 6. The second time through it's 1, 5, 4. That's the structure that just kind of keeps repeating itself. And the first thing that I played, actually before we talk about this, let me back up and play that first part one more time, get that in our ear, and then we'll talk it through. Okay, so we're starting off here. Now, some of you are going to say, how in the heck did you come up with that? I was just improvising and I came up with that. And I'll tell you, it's super easy. It's nothing complicated. I was thinking about chords. That's it. I was just playing the chords. Remember the chords. For the first time through, it's E, B, C sharp minor. I could have played them down here, but I was thinking about this one area. Since my C sharp minor was here, I was thinking about, okay, where's an E in this area? Oh yeah, I have an E right here, using the C shape. This is why that cage system is so big, because I can always come back to it. So there's your E chord using the C shape, your B chord using the G shape, just the top 4 strings of it, and then your C sharp minor. Now, if I take that, so E, or we'll just look at strings 4, 3, and 2, E, B, C sharp minor, I can just play certain notes out of that instead of playing the full chord, and I can get a much cleaner sound. The chord, since there's so many notes playing all at once, it tends to muddy it up, versus it sounds a little cleaner. So I'm starting here by barring the first 4 strings on the 4th fret, and I'm going to do a hammer on to strings 2 and 4 at the same time. Now I'm hybrid picking that, so I'm picking on the 4th string with my pick, and then I'm using my ring finger to pluck the 2nd string. And I'm doing that. Now this is the Keith Richards move. I'm always talking about this. So you have your 1 chord to your 4 chord. Keith uses that quite a bit, and so do I. I got it from him. So I do that hammer on there. Middle finger is going down on the 5th fret 2nd string, ring finger on the 6th fret 4th string. And then we play strings 2 and 4 without the, just with the bar there. So that would be your E, right? You can see your E chord now, right? Using the C shape. Then strings 2 and 4, that's your B chord, right? A little triad there. But we're just playing strings 2 and 4. And then we're going to play strings 2 and 3. That's a harmony. So these two are harmonized 6th, and this is a harmonized 3rd. And what I'm doing there is I've got my middle finger on the 5th fret 2nd string, ring finger on the 6th fret 3rd string. Where do these 2 notes come from? Your C sharp minor chord. Think of the chord shape. That's your A minor shape, like you'd play it down in 1st position. Now if I only played strings 2 and 3 out of that, it would sound like this. So that's where those notes are coming from. So now you can see that first part is really just me playing the chords. And that's kind of got a John Mayer kind of vibe to me. I mean, he does a lot of this as well. A lot of these harmonized 6ths are in his playing. And actually, to end that, I came back to the 4th fret and played strings 2 and 3. So it's... Okay, so now we go into some single string things that go... to play. And let me show you how to play it first, and we'll talk it through. So we're playing in this little box that happens between the 4th fret and the 6th fret here. We're starting on the 4th string with my ring finger, sliding up to the 6th fret, and then we're going to go 4, 6 on the 3rd string. So, and then back to the 4th fret, hit that twice, coming down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then watch this. There's a half bend and release on the 1st fret, 3rd string, and then the last note there is the 2nd fret, 4th string. So, okay, so what's going on there is I'm starting off just thinking about the major pentatonic scale. I'll be honest with you, be very candid. I was probably lost when I was improvising this. I did several versions of this, and I ended up settling on this one. And what happens when I get lost is I just go to the pentatonic scales. I mean, that's a real common thing. You get lost, you just think, okay, this is the thought process. All right, wait, what's the key of the song? Oh yeah, the song's in the key of E. So where are my pentatonics up here? Oh yeah, I've got this one. I've got my E major pentatonic scale, pattern 4. Now, if you watched the lesson I did a few weeks ago, I'll put it up on the screen. I talked about connecting your pentatonic scale, actually this very position, your major pentatonic scale, pattern 4, to the C shape. And I gave examples of that. This is another example of that. This is a real, I was going to say a real world example. I suppose it is. It's a real world example of at least me using that. So you can see that I do practice what I preach here. So. Okay, so we have, and all this is really just dancing around your A chord, because at this point in the song is where we landed on the A chord. It goes like this. So there's your A chord. Get that in your ear. Hear how that works? So I was just picturing that chord there. I played the A note from the chord. I go down a half step, bend up to the note that I just came from. That's another technique that I use quite a bit. Release it, and then I played the note, the other note from the chord there, which would be the 5th. All right, so now the song goes back to that 1, 5, 6, and I played this. Let's talk through that. So we're going to slide from the 2nd fret. This is on the 4th string. 2nd fret, we're going to come to the 4th fret and slide up to the 6th fret. So we have this. Now watch this. You should hear that. That's a chord. That's just the E chord using the C shape. I'm back into the same area here. And I hit that twice, that 2nd string. So after you make the chord there, it's strings 4, 3, and 2. You hit the 2nd string twice, and then watch this. So this, we're going to slide up to the 9th fret, strings 4 and 2 again, up to here, and then to the 5th fret, 2nd string. Now what is this? This seems complicated, right? It's not. It's just the E chord using the A shape. So I was going from the E chord using the C shape up to the E chord using the A shape. So if you think of it that way and you listen to this, you're going to hear I'm just playing the chords. And then I came back to that E note here on the 5th fret, 2nd string. Now the chords in the song go like this. So it goes A, B, and then I tagged that and repeated that line again. And so I didn't want to just mirror that because it's a real prominent thing that's going on rhythm-wise, but I ended up just playing some notes from my E major scale. Your major scale is this. Do, re, mi, all right? So inside of that, 5 of those 7 notes are your major pentatonic scale. And then the major scale has these 2 extra notes. One of those is this note. And that's the note I played here. So it's 5th fret, 2nd string. We slide down to the 4th fret on the 2nd string. And then we go 6, 4. And then and then we do a hammer on from the 4th fret to the 6th fret on the 3rd string, 6th fret 4th string, and then I played strings 4 and 3 together on the 4th fret. And those notes are just, that's from the B chord. Remember, this is where the song goes A, B, A, B. So I ended with this, which is really just like a, you know, a power chord from that B chord. And I got this from Dire Straits, from Sultans of Swing. I think, you know, they tag Sultans of Swing. So I liked that sound. It was sort of in my head, and so that's where that came from. All right, so now the structure of the song just repeats itself. So we go back to E, B, C sharp minor, chord-wise, and I came up to a higher spot on the neck. This is what I like to do. We play something low, and then we'll play something high, just to give you two options. So I started with this. So it's a hammer-on between the 9th fret and the 11th fret on the 4th string, and then I came up to the 9th fret 3rd string. Or I might have hit strings 2 and 3 behind the bar there, because that would all work, because that's my E triad there. See, there's my E chord using the A shape, E chord using the G shape. They both share that triad. That triad is key. I can keep that down and play all kinds of things as long as I keep that down, right? So you can see you've got your triad there, but you've got your major pentatonic scale here, which gives you all these options. To me, that's where the Hendrix rhythm stuff comes from, or like one part of what he does comes from this very idea here. So you have that, and then I went. So keeping the bar there on strings 2 and 3, I'm going to hammer on to the 9th or to the 11th fret 3rd string, playing strings 3 and 2. And then I played that as sort of, that's the response to the call. This is the call, and the response goes. So I'm keeping the bar there, first 4 strings now, and I'm going to play strings 4 and 3, hammer on to the 11th fret 4th string, and then 11th fret 5th string, we go back to strings 4 and 3, and then back to the 11th fret 4th string. So all together, and that works really well for the E, and it also works really well for the C sharp minor, which is where it ended there. Remember, the phrase goes. And so when I went, that works well over that C sharp minor, because the E major pentatonic scale is the C sharp minor pentatonic scale. So that this one scale works for both of those. That's why staying in the key of the song works so well when you've got a relative minor like that. All right, so the next phrase goes like this. All right, let's talk through that. So again, I'm just thinking major pentatonic scale pattern 1. So all these notes are coming from that area. So it's a full bend on the 11th fret 3rd string, and then I come up and hit the 9th fret 1st string, and then the 9th fret 2nd string, and then we do 12th fret 2nd string down to the 9th fret 2nd string. That's a great little major pentatonic lick. And then watch this. So this is a bend and release on the 11th fret 3rd string, down to the 9th fret 3rd string, and then we go to the 11th fret 4th string, and then watch this. These fingers are making a shape that should look very familiar because we did it for the E chord down here, right? There's your C shape. Right? I'm just playing strings 4, 3, and 2 out of it. In fact, I'm just playing strings 4 and 2 out of it. But what is that? That would be an A chord using the C shape. Why am I playing an A chord there? Oh yeah, because the song goes first time, and the second time it goes. It lands on an A. Now, some of you, I'm sure, are going, how would you know to do that? I can already anticipate that from somebody out there. Like, how would you know to land on the A? This is where just playing and learning licks like this, they get into your thoughts and they get into your brain, and you can hear those changes. So even though I wasn't strumming the chords like that, I could hear the chords and I knew what to do. My fingers knew how to go right into that A chord shape, even though, you know, it's in a different position than maybe you're familiar with down in first position, but I could hear it. And so I'm just letting you know that you just doing this over time, it does get easier. So from the beginning of this, we have, and then I came up and went. So this is strings 4 and 2 on the 14th fret. And then I come to the 12th fret, 2nd string. Now what is this? Well, remember we were playing the A chord. I just came up and played the A chord in another spot, using the A shape. Think of your A shape, but playing at a full octave higher than it would be down in first position. So that would be up here. So it'd be strings 4 and 2 up here. So it's 4, 2, 4 on the 14th fret. And then we go to the 12th fret, 2nd string. So we have, and then watch this. So that's 10, 9, 9th fret, 3rd string, and then down to the 11th fret, 4th string. So all together we have. All right, so the next part goes. So we're going to start here barring the first 3 strings on the 9th fret, and I'm going to do a hammer on. So I'm only going to play strings 2 and 3, and I use my middle and ring finger to pluck that. You could strum that with your pick if you want. But I plucked that, and I'm hammering on middle finger to the 10th fret, 2nd string, ring finger to the 11th fret, 3rd string. And then we play the 9th fret behind the bar there. And then we're gonna move the bar up a string, so I'm barring the first 4 strings on the 9th fret. We're gonna play strings 4 and 3, but I'm gonna hammer onto the 11th fret, 4th string. Play that, and then I'm gonna slide that up 2 frets and do the hammer on again. That represents that little tag where it goes from the A to the B. So, and then I concluded with a lick that goes. So that's a hammer-on pull-off between the 11th fret and the 12th fret on the 4th string, and then slid down to the 9th fret, 11th fret, 4th string again, and then back to the 9th fret. So. All right, so I want to wrap up this part 1 video there. We've already covered quite a bit of material. Join us for part 2, where we'll go over the second half of this. And remember, as a premium member, you get access to the on-screen tab viewer, the tablature that you can download, and also the MP3 jam tracks so that you can practice all of this stuff. All right, we'll see you in part 2.